Welcome to Drink Wine Be Crafty. I'm Megan, and today I will be showing you guys how to make a macrame Christmas ornament. The one with the gold was kind of like my first trial run, which I really liked it, but I thought that I might like it better if I just did one color, so I did all natural cord on this one, and then I used some silver with a little glitter paint on that, and you could do whatever colors you guys want. The supplies needed for this project are some wire. I purchased this floral wire from the Dollar Tree, and you're going to need to cut two pieces of this wire, and each piece needs to be 11 inches long. Each of our circles are actually, one is 9 and one is 8 inches, but I like to have a little extra, so 11 inches on that. The cord that I'm using is 3 millimeter, and you're going to need two strands of that. Both of those will be 80 inches long, and then you will need a piece of yarn or cotton cord for the center. This is what we're going to use to hang our ornament. And then you'll also need to have a hot glue gun, a yarn needle, and then a wooden bead, and I purchased these at Joann's as well. And that's going to be it. Let's get into the project. In this project, you will need to have the 80 inches of cord. This one's going to be 9 inches long once we finish. So what we're going to do is we're going to get to the center of our cord, and we're going to put it around the wire, and you're going to tie on a square knot. And to do a square knot, the first one's a little bit hard to do because you need to hold on to the wire and make sure it doesn't move around, but I'm going to do a couple of these square knots slowly so I could show you how to do it. And then put the cord through the loop here and then pull tight. And then you can move it around once you get it tied on, so I'm going to move it up a little bit here. Now I'll do the same thing but in the opposite side. So you make a P, you put the rope over the top of that one, and then put the cord through. And that is a square knot, and that's going to be what we use for the entire project. We just keep doing square knots until this piece is 9 inches long, because we need one 9 and we need one 8. Let me show you guys one more time. And then do it on the opposite side again, and that's it, guys. So continue doing that until you have 9 inches. Okay, so we have 9 inches of square knots, and then now we need to get the 8 inches done, which I did off camera. So we have 8 and 9 inches of square knots here. So we need to get rid of the extra rope, and we need to trim off the extra wire. And so what you need to do is pull your knots really, really tight, because we're going to grab a pair of scissors and we're just going to cut off the extra rope. So as close as you can, just trim off the extra. And at this point, this is where you're going to need your hot glue gun, so go ahead and get your hot glue gun ready, because we're going to trim this off. And then once you get that done, you're going to put the tiniest bit of hot glue on it so it won't move around, and you actually can't even see it at all. So let me grab a hot glue gun, and we're going to put just a really little dot right on top of that spot. And once it cools off, I do touch it and kind of push it down. My hot glue gun is not super hot right now, so I can touch it pretty quickly, but Be careful, don't burn yourself. Lord knows I've had plenty of hot glue gun burns. So do that on both sides, and that's just going to keep it in place and keep it from falling apart. And you can't even see it. I don't know if you can pick it up on the camera, but you really can't tell. And then once you do that, grab your wire cutters. So go ahead and trim off the extra wire and rope on both of your pieces, and then I will show you what to do from there. Now grab something. I am going to use a cup. I actually used measuring cups the last time and I don't know where I put them. So believe it or not, y'all, did not plan this. This fits perfectly around my wine glass. I'm trying to figure out reasons to bring my wine glass out, I guess, today. But just find something to help mold it, and then we're going to hot glue these ends together. I need to cut that off. That's a little bit sharp. So just grab your hot glue gun and glue these ends together, and then the other piece is a little bit shorter, but I still use the same cup to mold it. Let me do this and I'll show you guys. This piece is a little bit smaller. This is the 8-inch one, so it doesn't go all the way around this particular cup, but it doesn't have to be perfect, because once you get it off, you can mold it. And you know, I think that really I wouldn't worry about it being perfect until the very end, because it's pretty bendy and it might bend and move around a little bit, but you can mold it as you go. So don't stress if you bend it a little bit in this next process, because now we're going to start piecing it all together. Now this is where we break out the yarn or cord, whatever it is that you would like to use to piece these together. They should fit inside of each other. At this point, don't worry about having it perfect. You're going to be moving it around a lot in this process. Now the top part you do want to be exactly where you want the placement to be, because we're going to push the needle through both of these, and we're going to do this on both sides. So we're going to end up making a little loop at the top. So push the needle through, and this one's a little bit tough because my needle is not the best. It's not super sharp. So maneuvering it through the best you can, and then once you do this side, you're going to do the same thing on the other side. And the next step will be to tie a knot at the top. That will just hold this in place. Just however long you want your piece that you can hang it with to be, tie just a regular little knot here and push it down as tight as you can. And then we will move on to adding the bead. So grab your bead in your color of choice. This was actually, there was 3 different sizes of this one, and this was the medium size. So there was one a little bigger. I went with the medium size one, but again, you can do whatever makes your heart happy. And we're just going to put the bead on, and then once we have the bead, we're actually going to do the same thing that we did at the top, pushing the needle through on each side. We're going to do the same thing at the bottom. Now you will need your hot glue gun and your scissors again, because all we're going to do for the last step in this project is just tie a simple knot, not even really a full knot. We're just going to go through one time and pull it really, really tight. It hides it really well. You can't see it at all. And then get your scissors and trim off the ends as close as you can and put some hot glue over it, and it's really not even visible once we get those last steps done. And that's going to be the end of the project, guys. I really hope that you like this. and I will be out with some more Christmas ornaments, and I'm trying to make it cohesive. So a lot of these will, some of them won't, but a lot of them will actually go together and something that you can use all together on your tree. So I will see you guys next time.